Hello and welcome along to today's live. We're in a Hobbycraft Havant today and we're joined by Joey, the resident store's Cricut expert, and she's going to be showing us all how to make beautiful personalised stockings ready in time for Christmas. So we'll be using lots of different iron-on vinyls as well as the mini easy press. But before we get started, we just wanted to show you a really quick video.
Together, we've seen our lives change, but we've found different ways to share ideas, learn new skills and help each other. We've created things to let others know we miss them and brought families together even when we're apart. Because when you craft together, you can create masterpieces to fill empty days, or something personal you just know will be adored. It's the joy of making and the gifts we share. Hobbycraft. Let's craft together this Christmas.
So we hope you enjoyed our Christmas ad there. So before we get started with the demo, we have a really exciting Cricut mystery bundle to give away. We'll be announcing more of the details throughout the live, so make sure to stay tuned. As well, if you have any questions for Joey on Cricut, if you just pop them in the comments below, we'll be able to answer those throughout the live today. So without further ado, I'll pass over to Joey for the demo.
Hello, I'd like to tell you about our Cricut Joy that I will be using today. So the Cricut Joy is a compact, mighty little machine that can cut various materials, including the iron-on vinyls that I'll be using today, as well as other materials. It can do cardstock, normal vinyls. It is able to cut matless or on a mat. So if you're doing matless, you use the special smart vinyls that you can cut up to a 4-foot single image or up to 20 foot on a repeat. The Cricut Joy uses the design space that you also use with the Air 2 or the Maker, so it is interchangeable. And there is also a special Cricut Joy app that is just for the Joy, that is a quick start guide to labels and other items on there. The project I'm going to be showing you today can also be completed on the Air 2 and the Maker. So let's get started. So I am here on the Cricut design space. I am on a blank canvas and I am going to first go over to the text section here, and I'm just going to pop in an initial of your choice. So I'm going to do a capital A, and then I'm just going to move it up and make it slightly bigger so that you can see everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to pop up into the font library up here. So we've got a little drop down, and I'm going to actually use the filter section on the right hand side. And I'm going to choose multiple layers, and then that will narrow down all the fonts that will have a multiple layer to it. And then I am going to scroll down to the Cricut section and I'm going to click Cricut Classic. So this will change the font. Initially you cannot see that it is a multiple layer, so over in the layers panel you can actually see that there is 2 layers, but one is hidden. So I am actually just going to click this little eye icon and unhide that. And then while I have still got this layers panel selected, I'm going to select the top layer, and I'm actually going to change the color to white. And then the bottom layer is relatively a good color for me. I'm going to do that in a gold iron-on vinyl, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Next, I am going to go over to the image library. And in this section I have already searched holly, and then I am going to scroll down and select the holly that I will be using today. So this one here, this will pop along the bottom bar, and I'm just going to insert that onto the design space. Then I'm going to use this little rotate tool and rotate that into the direction that I like. Now I do need to resize both of these, so I'm going to click the letter A again, and I'm going to pop up to the size section here, and I'm going to put in 4.5, which is the biggest that you can cut widthways on the Cricut Joy on the smart vinyls. And then I'm going to click the holly, and I'm going to put in 2.5. It just makes it slightly bigger. The holly, I am actually also going to contour out these little lines here, just because they are going to be layered up on my finished design, so I don't want the gold and white showing through. So in the layers panel on the right again, I'm going to select the berries, which is now gone grey, and then down at the bottom you've got this wonderful contour button, and then that will bring the hide contour section up. Now if I just zoom right out, because it has gone very large,
Gosh, it's gone
you
massive.
can see the very section, and then you can either click directly on the image and it will start to take those parts out, or you can use the panel on the side here and remove those, and then just click the X and it will have gotten rid of them. So once you're kind of happy with your design, you've got a good placement and a good idea of how it is going to look, then you are ready to make it. So with the Cricut Joy and the design space, you do need to make sure that you've got the Cricut Joy selected. So this little section just next to the make it button, you've got the different types of machines, and we are using the Cricut Joy today. So I'm just going to press make it, and this is going to bring up your material selection. So we are actually using 3 pieces of smart vinyl and 1 piece of normal iron-on vinyl. So I'm going to select the multiple ways section here and click done. Then on the panel at the very left, it will auto pop it onto without mat, so it will automatically think that you're going to do everything in a smart vinyl. So the white is fine, the gold is fine, so it's actually the green one that we are going to pop onto a mat. So just change that, and then you see the preview that it is designed. Then all of these designs we need to make sure that we have mirrored. So each preview matte color, I'm just going to click the little mirror button and make sure they are all reversed, so that when we are cutting, we're actually cutting into the back and they will be ready to flip over and then press. So next, I am happy with all our designs, so I'm going to press continue. Then this will connect to the Joy machine, and then this will select your material. So each mat, it will prompt you, unless you click a little button otherwise, to select each material separate. So first of all, let's click the white one, and then I've selected smart. That is not the correct one. The smart iron-on. And then here is where you would click if you had all smart iron-ons, remember material settings. And then it does also prompt you here to remember to mirror your image, as well as making sure that your material is the right side up. So I'm going to click go, which is not selected. We have a technical issue. Let's try that again. Load it in. So the Joy is now just measuring that I have enough vinyl ready for cutting, and then it will be ready. So then you prompt it on the screen to go, and then it will do its wonderful business.
So while it's cutting, we've had a few questions come in, got loads of followers, so hello everyone, thank you for tuning in today. So we had a question from Stacey asking, how do you do all the different colours separate like that? She says she must have missed that part.
Okay, so when you are designing on your design canvas, you need to make sure that each element is a different colour, so that when it goes to the preview matte screen, it will separate them automatically.
Cool, and then, gosh, so many people. Hi to Jessica Weston watching, Alberta Cook, she'd love a Cricut. There's so many things she could do, so make sure to stay tuned for that competition coming up soon. Gosh, so many questions. Hello to Gillian, just finding, so with the Cricut Joy, are there any tools or anything you would recommend getting when you get your Joy?
So there is a Joy starter kit which has the weeder and the scraper tool and the lifting tool, and these match the colours, which is quite fabulous. They are a little starter kit that will come all together if you purchase that separately, and they are very key to your, especially vinyl projects, especially the weeder. It will get in all the nooks and crannies and be able to lift up the excess material that you don't want on your design.
So whilst Joey just cuts some other pieces of vinyl, I'm just going to show you some other designs that Joey's been busy working on. She's been beavering away with the Cricut Joy. So we've got the design we're doing today. So this is a slightly smaller version than the one we're doing today, but this has got initial on it. This is using our red and white felt stocking. I've also got my personal favourite, love the linen stocking. So this one with some lovely glitter even iron on there, and all images from the Design Space app. I've got this lovely one with a wreath. So there's loads of different images and fonts and things within Design Space that you can use to do these. If you've got a pet, they won't be left out because you can get this cute little pet paw stocking, great for cats, dogs, guinea pigs, maybe rabbits. Just pop their name on there. Then I've got this gorgeous velvet stocking, so you can also add your iron-ons onto velvet. So got some nice little Scandi designs on here. And then if you've just recently had a new arrival for Christmas, a little new first Christmas stocking, so you can make them for new arrivals in your family, just popping the name at the top, and the name. So it's a nice little keepsake that you can keep for years to come. So how's the cutting coming along?
Okay, so I'm just on the last vinyl. So on this one I'm actually using normal everyday iron-on vinyl, so I need to apply that to a mat. So I'm just going to position it and bring in my brayer, which I love, just to make sure that it is secured down nice and flat while it's cutting, and then pop this last one in. So then I'm going to go to the screen, and on this one I'm going to browse all materials, and then I am going to view all materials. Oh, and only the smart vinyls are popping up. Hold on a moment. Let me come back out of there. And then pop back in. Let's see if it's working this time. That's better. So I'm just going to click the everyday and then done. And it's the same principle as the smart vinyl, so I'm just going to insert the mat, and then it will still prompt me to press go.
So we've had a question from Kelly Lewis, and she's asking, do the machines come with a manual of all the different ways you can use the machines with step-by-steps and things? Is there?
There isn't a physical manual. If you pop over to the Cricut website, there are how-to guides, there are, I believe, some videos, quick FAQs. So if you do get stuck halfway through a project, then you can refer back to those. And they've got some really good tips and hints that will be very helpful.
I definitely also recommend on Facebook, there are loads of different groups which are great for getting help and advice. You can just pop your question on and you'll have like loads of people answering. It's a nice place to share ideas and things like that. So Facebook groups are good to also go on. So just cutting is this the final one now?
Yes,
the glittery
I did.
berries.
I would admit, I cut out one of them on the wrong vinyl. Oh. We've all been there.
We're going to go for a slightly different look. That's fine.
So I'm just going to start weeding out these. So I've trimmed down some of the vinyls with one of our little mini trimmers, which is very handy. And then I'm just going to quickly weed. They are very simple to weed. Some of the iron-on vinyl, and it has all the iron-ons have a coating on the back which is heat resistant, so you can iron straight on that while your letters stay on the carrier sheet while you're ironing. I'm just going to remove these little sections. Same with the other ones. Start on the outside and then very carefully and slowly peel back the iron-on material.
So you've basically got all your stockings sorted for Christmas. What other makes and things are you going to be doing this year?
So I am really a big fan of the shaker frames. So jingle bells, I will be putting in those. Our lovely, wonderful new biodegradable glitter, which we've got some fabulous colours in. I'll be making up some of those and then popping vinyl on the front. So the jingle bells, I may put jingle all the way. Very festive. Okay, let me just...
So while Joey's just finishing off weeding the vinyls, now's a good time to launch our Cricut giveaway. So we have got a Cricut bundle worth over £300 up for grabs for one lucky winner. So if you've had a Cricut machine on your wish list for a little while, you'll definitely want to enter this competition, because we have a light blue Explore Air 2 up for grabs, along with lots of vinyls and other consumables. So it's great if you're a beginner, or if you win, if you've got a friend who loves Cricut, a great gift. So all you need to do to enter the competition is answer the following question. What is the name of the software used in conjunction with the Cricut machines? So one more time. That is, what is the name of the software used in conjunction with the Cricut machines? So if you've been listening from the beginning, we may have mentioned it 1 or 2 times, and we may mention it 1 or 2 times more. But if you just pop your answer in the comments below before midday this Friday, so that's Friday the 23rd of October, and then we'll pick a winner, and some lucky winner will win a Cricut Explorer 2, so that's very exciting. So all the best of luck, everyone. So now we're ready to do some ironing on with the mini easy press.
Okay, so first things first, you will most likely need a tape measure just to make sure that you're getting it quite center on your design. I've got a timer going for the easy press mini, so it does not have a timer on the actual unit itself, and then I'm using the Cricut easy press guide. So on your computer or your smart device, you can bring this up, and it is an interactive guide. So here you have got a few selections. So you've got your type of easy press, so we have got the mini selected, and then you pop in the material that you are using. So the first layer that I'm going to do is the smart iron on, so I will select this, and then our material base is felt. So I select the felt, press apply, and then it will give you the guide that it will need. So we are got a low heat setting on the easy press mini. It will need 30 seconds with a preheat of 5 seconds, constant movement with a light pressure and a cool peel. So I'm just going to wait for that to heat up, and I'm going to grab my first layer, which is going to be the gold. And then I'm going to very quickly measure roughly where I want my design. So
we've had lots of people entering the competition already. You've all been very good at listening, that's all I'm going to say.
So
got some good answers.
Roughly where it's going to go. So I'm just going to very quickly preheat the stocking. Now our stockings are an acrylic base, but with the low heat of the easy press on this design, it still takes it very well. So I'm just going to flip our design over. Now this has got a slight stick to it, so it should stay in its position while you're heating. And then I'm going to press the timer go. So we got 30 seconds on this one, and then we just want to do light circular motions. Not too fast, especially if you're doing smaller little designs. You might actually pick the carrier sheet up if you're doing it a little too fast.
So what other types of materials can you apply the iron-ons to?
So the iron-on is quite versatile actually. So you have got your standard materials, so you've got cottons, hessian, silks, all those kind of normal materials that you would expect. And then you can also apply it to others. So I'm just going to stop the timer there and pop that there. You can apply it to wood. I think I've done a surfboard, I've seen done. So yeah, it is very versatile.
Yeah.
I say to people, especially if, so previously I've done one of our gift boxes, so one of our Christmas Eve boxes, and because you are going to keep it in perhaps an attic or a garage, it may be worth using the iron-on so that if a moisture does affect it, then normal vinyl may peel up, but the iron-on is going to adhere very nicely. Okay, so that is what I would say cool. Don't want to be too eager. And then I'm just going to, so with the felt materials, they do have a little bit of hair to them, so don't worry if it looks like it is picking the vinyl up on these corners. And
so when you're layering vinyls, are there any you shouldn't layer on top of each other?
so generally speaking, glitter should be your last layer that you do, because it has got a grain to it. So a normal iron-on may not adhere so well. So I'm just going to position the white on top of. So with the backing paper, I have made it slightly larger so that it does then cover the first layer that I've done underneath and protects that, so you don't want it melting on your easy press. And then I'm going to start the timer again, and then again small circular motions while it heats up. And you can multi-layer as many times as you feel comfortable with.
You can also layer the adhesive vinyls as well, can't you?
Yes, you can, yeah. So you will feel those slightly more, especially the thicker the vinyl is. However, there are also some texture ones, so you need to be mindful as well, again, that you need to put the textured ones again on the very top. So again, we're going to let that cool. Then on the Easy Press guide, I'm going to scroll up, because our next one is just a normal everyday iron-on. And then our base material again is felt. And then apply. And this time it is a warm peel, so we can be a bit more eager with our peeling off. But yeah, the felt tends to be a lower temperature for slightly longer, just to protect it from melting or damaging it.
Is there any top tips you'd have for like beginners to Cricut? Like any essential nuggets of information they should know?
Oh my goodness.
Or any Cricut
Don't
cheats?
be scared. Do not be scared. So when initially people do ask me, they're just buying a new one, practice on card. Just buy a big pack of card, practice. All you're going to waste then is a little bit of card, and it's recyclable. So don't be scared. There is an undo button as well, and save your projects as you go. So if there's something that you've worked on for half an hour to an hour, do make sure you're saving them regularly. So it would be disappointing otherwise. Okay, so I'm just going to position, and I'm actually going to bring in the berries, and I'm just going to go back to the design space.
Go down the bottom.
Down the bottom. There we go. Oops. And I'm actually just going to cancel back out of here and pop back onto the mat so I can see what position the berries were in. And you can do this in all your stages. So if you pop back onto your canvas, you'll be able to see exactly where you've positioned things when you've designed it. So even though I'm not doing the berries right this moment, I can use that as a guide for where my holly is going to be.
Okay, so we've had a few more people join along. So I mentioned earlier that we had a Cricut giveaway. It was a mystery until 10 minutes ago or so. So we have a Cricut bundle worth over £300 up for grabs for one lucky winner. And within that you will win a lovely light blue Cricut Explorer 2 along with some consumables. So like the iron-ons we're using today, but it'll be the everyday iron-ons. So it's great for a Cricut beginner, and all you need to do to enter is pop your answer to the following question in the comments below. So you ready for the question? It is, what is the name of the software used in conjunction with the Cricut machine? So one more time, that is, what is the name of the software used in conjunction with the Cricut machines? So if you pop your answer in the comments below by midday on Friday, you could be with a chance of winning. It's a great early Christmas present. So just applying the holly. So one more step after this one.
Let me slowly take this off.
Do you have any favourite iron-ons that you like to use all the time?
I think white is obviously a staple, and there are some fabulous holographic ones that really give a shine. So I've used it for a fire effect on like a little campfire, which was fabulous. I love doing that. But they're all my favourite, all of them. All of them are my favourite. Okay guys, so last piece, we're just doing the glitter. So I have actually used the backing paper from the first design just to protect over, and then this one is still a 30-second on a light pressure, but it is a cold peel, so this one will take the longest.
So if you have a different Easy Press, like the Easy Press 2, you'd use that heat guide as well?
Yep, so Easy Press 2, it gives you it in centigrade and Fahrenheit, so you will actually change the temperature on the machine itself, and then there is a timer on there as well, so you can manually do it, and it does a nice beep at you at the end, which is very handy because you can count very quickly compared to the machines. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that back in the cradle, and then I'm just going to let that cool a bit more longer than usual.
Lots more entries with some very good answers on the comments. So do you have a machine that you prefer to use? So would you use the Cricut Joy for certain projects or the Maker for something else?
Yes, so I predominantly use at the moment the Cricut Joy. It's very portable, so it's travelled around the house with me, and my daughter has gotten involved with a lot of projects as well, so she's chosen a lot of things, inserted the mats and things, but the Maker I do find is more versatile, so you can do a lot more, especially with the new tools that have come out. So the engraving tool is fabulous, especially this time of year, on acrylic, baubles and Christmassy shapes, which is brilliant. You also have the ability to cut wood, so balsa wood, basswood, chipboard as well, so you could make 3D, everything from candle holders or little statues. So yeah, for bigger projects, definitely the Maker, but if you're looking to do smaller, little individual personalised projects, the Cricut Joy would be amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to peel off our over backing, and then peel off our wonderful glitter, and then there we go. So the glitters are really shimmery and do bring out definitely some festive Christmasness into them.
Just trying to find. So you can resize that. So this is the one you've done previously.
Yep. So I did do a smaller one previously, and you can of course personalise it with any letter that you would like to use, any initials or even a name if you wanted to do a name which is a bit more smaller.
Perfect. Thank you so much for showing us how to add festive personalisation to the stockings. So if you're looking for even more ideas for Christmas or Halloween or any birthdays upcoming, make sure to head on over to the Ideas Hub, because we've got loads of projects on there for you to try your hand at. So one final time before we say goodbye, we've got our Cricut competition. So if you fancy getting your hands on a brand new Cricut Explore Air 2 and some consumables, make sure to pop your answer to the following questions in the comments below by midday on Friday, and that question is, what is the name of the software used in conjunction with the Cricut machines? So one final time, what is the name of the software used in conjunction with the Cricut machines? So pop your answer in the comments below, and we will pick a winner on Friday after midday. So very best of luck. Now we've got lots of Christmas activity upcoming, we're in the next couple of months, and we've got some more information from our lovely colleague Bethany from our Chesterfield store, who's going to give you some dates for your diaries. So that's going to come up next, but we'll say bye for now. So we'll see you soon. Bye.
Goodbye.
Join us this Christmas as we craft together into the festive season. With inspiration and tutorials for all your Christmas favourites, we have a calendar of Facebook Live events, step-by-step videos and craft-along sessions for you to get creative. For more details, head to hobbycraft.co.uk/store events.